Good afternoon.
You and I on the stage at the same time?
Yeah, sure.
Good afternoon. Thank you, folks, for coming down. I know it's many of you guys have come from a fairly long distance, so thank you so much for sharing your time with us. What do you think of the video? So when we were scripting it and we were writing it, it just felt very authentic. And, you know, Ajay, I love that video, right? I mean, that juxtaposition that every time somebody says something rude, nasty, doubtful, skeptical about what Micromax is, and Micromax has gone and done just that. You know, and you know, it's good because if people only say good things about you, you're not taking enough risks. You're not doing enough crazy stuff. And that's got to be wrong, right? So what do you think?
Obviously, the video that you showed just now, I loved it. Obviously, you will also love it because you made it. But jokes apart, I think at Micromax, we've always believed in challenging and disrupting the ecosystem. That's our position.
Micromax has always been known for disruption. I mean, so if you do word clouds and you do research, one of the words that always comes up is Micromax is disruptive, it's innovative. That's because, you know, in our DNA, for the last 6-7 years, every month, every quarter, we find a need, we find a technological solution, and then we give exactly what the customers want.
And Shubho, at a price they want. This was the time we challenged the norms in the industry. And then came Micromax version 1, alive and punching.
Yeah, if Micromax 1 was all about the feature phone business, then what came, as all of you guys know, is the Android wave. And that made us go on what we call Micromax 2.0, which was our entry into the whole smartphone business, where we started to take share from guys who thought that we will never make it, and we really started to, let's say, punch some of the global MNCs.
But now it's time for the knockout punch on Baisakhi.
Yeah, it's the new year, and I think it's the most auspicious time to start with our version number 3. Today, really proud, really proud to talk about Micromax 3.0. And I'm sure many of you guys have come down here thinking it's going to be a product launch, etc., and you're wondering, what is this Micromax 3.0? This is very important to all of us at Micromax. For us, Micromax 3.0 encapsulates, it's a very inspiring vision for us about where we expect this company to be in about a couple of years' time. It's a vision about how do we consolidate and reinforce our leadership position. But it's also a vision which will deliver on our view of what the market is going to become. Because we believe that the market is going to be of interconnected devices. Every little thing having a sensor, collecting data, everything talking to each other, probably controlled by one smartphone, but we envisage a world of interconnected devices, and that's where we want to win. And to do that, we have to go from being a mobile company into being an internet company.
Yeah, so how do we plan to do it? So we have 5 knockout punches. Knockout punch 1. Become the fastest growing brand in India. Moving on, starting from 2012, we are the largest Indian mobile brand. But this is just the beginning of an ambition. We want to be the fastest growing multi-channel brand in India. And the idea is simple. Knockout products and amazing innovation. Just to share with you, innovations in our case are all in-house. We have our own R&D team based out of Bangalore and Beijing, and they are firing on all cylinders. Let's hear from Rui.
months with Micromax. And in this short span, we have already achieved things which many of the larger competitors are still struggling with. First, we set up a team with 20 experts in Beijing, a dedicated team to work exclusively on each product feature development. We prioritize on the ID design, mechanical architecture, hardware engineering, and thermal solutions, camera, artwork, and antenna pattern design. And trust me, work is going on in such a rapid pace that we have already fired with 6 patents. Remember, it's just been a few months, and imagine what we plan to achieve over the next 4 to 5 years. Second, we are streamlining our product portfolio strategies, and a very critical aspect for us is to define Micromax design languages across our products, which though differentiated across subcategories and will have a visual consistent across the brand. Work is on, and all of this, you should see more of this take shape later this year.
Taking this forward from where Rui left, today we are kickstarting and announcing the launch of 15 new phones in various categories and price points. These 15 include our flagship device, about which we'll talk later. But hardware is only one half. The crucial other bit is what Shubhajit is going to share with you.
Sir, 15 phone ek din mein, haan? सारे घर के बदल डालेंगे. Anyway, look, there's enough work. But yeah, we're really proud that the R&D team and the engineering team, the product teams have been working. Today we have launched 15 new products. We'll talk about that later. But that's one part of the story. The other part of the story is the software and the services which is going to fuel all our products. Critical in our vision for Micromax 3.0. This story, in turn, is divided into 2 parts. One is software, and the other is services. On software, it's pretty clear that one of the feedbacks that we are getting from our consumers is how do we build a system, an ecosystem, where we can give updates whenever the Android updates come, how do we make that available to our existing consumers faster? So that's one area that we're working on very, very strongly. But the other area that we're working on is how do we optimize and how do we make sure that the experience, the journey that a consumer, whether they're moving from one Micromax device to the other, is consistent, it's seamless, it just feels very natural. So we're also developing on our own OS to go on top of Android, so to drive that, that consistency in experiencing a Micromax device. So that's part of the software story. Our engineering team in Bangalore has been working on it, but the other interesting thing is we have been piloting, building a community of developers in the external ecosystem. Our pilot is through. We're pretty much sure we know what we're going to do, and you're going to start seeing a lot of the output on both the software sides coming from both the internal guys and the external guys. That's one part, the software piece. But the other piece that's going to be really interesting, and I know, Ajay, you've been looking forward to this for a long time, is our services piece. On that, the vision is very clear. I think some of you might have seen some of the news reports. We want to be the #1 services player in the country. The #1 services player in the country. Look, we already are sitting on an ecosystem of about 50 million devices out there. Can you imagine if we can interconnect all of them? The platform that it would give to other players, other companies, to go and reach 50 million consumers at one go. How many other companies? I mean, 50 million is approximately the number of Flipkart app downloads today. That's the number that we're talking on, and we can turn this on by just literally overnight. But our vision is really to get to a stage, maybe in a couple of years, where we have 100 million interconnected Micromax devices talking to each other, creating a platform where we can help consumers find the services they want and services target the consumers they want. That's our vision. We're going down there, and we have a strategy actually to try and deliver on this. And we call that strategy the BPI strategy. B stands for build, because our Bangalore team is already coming up with some fantastic solutions in-house to feed into this whole services ecosystem. But there's also a very critical aspect of P, which is partnership. How do we go out and build strategic long-term partners in this whole initiative? And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And the third aspect of the BPI strategy is to strategically invest in startups and bigger companies so that we can have a long-term, very deep relationship with them. So that's kind of our plan, which is the BPI strategy. Look, I'm not the best guy to talk about this. The three stalwarts who have really been developing this are, we should hear from them. Can we have the videos, please?
Innovation has always been at the heart of what we do at Micromax. As we started thinking about Micromax 3.0 and our services strategy, we knew we couldn't do this alone, which is why we decided to seek out and form deep partnerships in the services ecosystem in startups in India as well as around the world. We're excited to invest in entrepreneurs who have built solutions that will delight our customers, and we've announced partnerships in health, music, travel, and payments. We continue to meet companies every day, and we're excited to see what else we can offer our customers.
In our journey to transform Micromax from being a devices-only company into a devices and a services company, we launched our value-added services division in 2012, when we started building the ecosystem of content and applications by partnering with the best in the world. Partnership is critical, and therefore we partner with the best across the globe, be it for as basic as the intuitive keyboard from SwiftKey or measuring your ECG online. We now look to transform this ecosystem into a powerful suite of experiences for our customers that will make this humble mobile device a life-critical device.
Android is a great OS for all our mobility devices, but we feel it's critical to layer this with Micromax services and UI. It not only helps us provide a consistent user experience that transitions smoothly across our devices, but also enables us to enhance consumers' experience of actually using these devices. As a part of this journey, we are really starting with the consumer's pain point of using these devices and creating solutions to address those. One great example of a solution is Around. Around is a simple discovery and aggregation platform that helps people accomplish the most common tasks that they do online. I see the future of Micromax as an internet connect company. It's going to be all about connected devices in a connected world. Time is not far when you will see us making all kinds of connected devices that people will use in their daily life.
This is such an interesting time for us. I don't know if you folks have actually interacted with any or all of them, but you know, if you get an opportunity to grab that, because really, I can tell you, I'd much rather have Manoj, Kumar, and Ashish on our side than on our competitor side. They've been doing some fantastic work, because it's not just, by the way, about the services, because on top of that services, we're going to layer on a really strategic play in the payment space. As you know, we have invested in Transserve, as well as struck a strategic deal with Visa and Transserve. So you'll see a lot of interesting moves from us, from our side, in the area of wallets and payments and payment gateways. So that a lot of stuff is going to come down that way. So really exciting. I think this is in many ways going to define the future of what Micromax is going to be, and just love the work that's happening out there, huh, Ajay?
Yeah, that is great, Shiva. We talked about Knockout Punch 1, we talked about Knockout Punch 2, moving on to Knockout Punch 3. We want to be a complete consumer electronic company. So it's just not about mobile phones. As you might be aware, we are very, very excited about what's happening on LED TVs that we are selling, on laptops, on tablets, and our immediate extra growth. We believe that our immediate extra growth for Micromax will come from these divisions. To share with you, we are amongst the leading players in the LED division. And one of the key pillars of Micromax 3.0, which we are talking about today, is to have a complete electronic division with us.
You know, electronics, so it's so much. I mean, sometimes when I think about our product portfolio from where we were to where we are in such a quick space, I think the electronics division is like really fantastic. But the other interesting one, of course, that's playing out for us is our entire international business. And it's quite interesting because, you know, we became very successful in India, and then we moved to South Asia, and all the naysayers would say, yeah, but Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or Nepal is a lot like India, you won't be able to go beyond that, after we became successful in those markets. And then we went into Russia. And last quarter, we became the number 3 brand in Russia within 2 years. I mean, this is fantastic because now what that proves to us, it builds our confidence that we can make it big across multiple countries, different operating environments, regardless of where we are. So this has been a fantastic story, and our intent there is quite clear. We are today the only Indian brand in the top 10 club in the world. We are one of the top 10 biggest players in the world. But where we want to go down to is we want to become one of the top 5 brands in the world over the next few years. And the only way we can do that is if we can target or reach about 2 billion consumers globally. And our current performance, our future energy in this international business is being driven by one man, Amit and his team. To talk a little bit more about how we're going to do this, let's hear it from Amit.
These are very exciting times for us at Micromax as we have made significant progress in the international markets. For the last couple of years, we have been testing a few markets. And today, we are one of the top brands in all the operational markets. This gives us tremendous confidence as we move from the current number 10 position in the world to number 5 that we aspire for. And for this, it is imperative that we break into new territories. Being one of the top brands in Russia in just 2 years has given us a lot of confidence. As we plan to move along, we want to make Russia as an opening into the CIS countries. And this will definitely be a cornerstone for our success. Our journey to be amongst the top 5 by 2020 has already started. We will optimize our resources and use the economies of scale to reach that. Our dream now needs to be converted into reality, and the team is all passionate to make this happen.
So that's the international business, but there's one last knockout punch, Ajay.
Yeah, so we go to the knockout punch 5, which is the Make in India program. While Shubho mentioned that a part of business is moving out of India, we have a part of business which is coming into India. And that part is the part of manufacturing, setting up manufacturing facilities in India. So it's a commitment to our customers and to the country that we will try and produce as much as we can within India. And the goal is to achieve 100% production in India. As of today, while we stand, we are doing about 60% of our production within India, but the goal is to achieve 100% by 2017. And we're talking about the 2.5 million numbers a month being produced in India 100%. For doing that, we have invested in 4 plants, in AP, in Telangana, in MP, and in Rajasthan. And that is also giving employment to hundreds and thousands of people. I think, Shubho, after all this, we need a little bit of excitement, and it's over to you for the marketing magic.
Typical sales guy, marketing magic karte denge. Listen, we've just conscious of the fact that we have thrown a lot of stuff at you. I just want to take 2 seconds before we get on to the next section, which is just to summarize what we have said. Today, announced the launch of Micromax 3.0, which is our vision of where the company will be in an interconnected world very soon. Micromax 3.0 is underpinned by 5 key strategic pillars. To be the fastest growing brand in India. Second, to be the number 1 services player in India. Number 3 is to transit and transform ourselves into being a complete consumer electronics player. Number 4, how quickly can we break into the top 5 club in the world? And number 5, to onshore and make 100% of our products made in India. That is the context of all that we're doing, what we're, kind of inspires why we come into work every day. And as we were going down and working this strategy out, this business plan out, one of the conversations as a marketing guy that keeps coming up is, do you want to change your logo? Do you want to change your design? Do we need a new culture? And when we were talking about it, what we realized was, Micromax's culture as an organization, this taking risks, doing crazy things, is actually what's going to help us deliver on Micromax 3.0. And we love the punch. We think that goes with this whole idea about being aggressive and being assertive and not backing down when competition comes at you. So we thought that we had all the raw materials, but we also realized that we need to signal the change to our consumers to say something is happening, something's changing. We needed to modernize ourselves and perhaps re-articulate our basic DNA. And that's where we are at today. As the starting point, if today is day zero, about see what Micromax 3.0 is going to be. Can we have the AV, please? Okay. No, I don't need all this.
What's it gonna take to make it, to break it? Right now, right here. Right now, right here. What's it gonna take to make it, to take it? Ooh, what's it gonna take to make it, to break it? Right now, right here. What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to make it, to break it? Right now, right here. Oh yeah. It's all for the glory, the glory, the glory. Yeah. It's all for the glory, the glory, the glory. Yeah. To break it right now, right here. What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to make it? To break it right now, right here. Oh yeah. It's all for the glory, the glory, the glory. It's all for the glory, the glory, the glory. take to make it, to break it? Right now, right here. What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to make it? To break it right now, right here. Oh yeah. It's all
Okay, everyone. It's been a fairly long time, at least in my 1 year in this organization. I haven't seen the founders together. So this really is a big deal for us. This really is the starting off for a lot of the new news that you're going to get. As I said, today is a very bizarre day for us because I don't think I've seen this where on one day we are launching 15 phones, but that's not the end. We're also going to be launching a new range of LED TVs, and we're going to launch a couple of really cool tablets. So altogether, in one day, 19 new products. You'll get a chance to see all of them when you're outside. Before I start talking a little bit, and I promise, I know that we're getting on in time, won't take too much time, a little bit about the Nuts Guts Glory, because this is something that you will, maybe you won't see the words, but you will see this philosophy come through in our product and the way we are going to market and everything that we do as an organization. And really, it is about our DNA. It is about how do we all have always been and always will defy convention, whether it's category convention, the way things are done, how we defy the fears of taking on big guys, taking on the unknowns, but always win big because we defy the odds. And if you think about it, as we were going through this whole presentation, everyone's turning around saying, you guys are nuts, totally nuts. Who launches 20 products in one day? Who takes down the website and then talks to the world about it? You know, over the last couple of days, 7 crore people have been using the hashtag Micromax goes nuts because we took our website for the new launch. And you know, my response is, in the last 1 year, we have taken the website down 2 times for maintenance. No one cared. We take it down and we do we laugh at ourselves, and 7 crore people talk about this. Not just that, just doing this conference on 13th, unlucky day. So this is what's going to happen as we talk to each other over the next few months, which is pretty much everything is going to look quite different, quite interesting, and a bit different from anything that anybody else does. Before I start talking about the phones though, I do like to make the point that sometimes I feel that we also make phones. We've got a fantastic business in consumer electronics. Our LED business is one of the top 5. We have one of the highest rated consumer rated brands on Amazon, getting more than 4.5 on 5. We've got a solid business in laptops as well as on tablets. In fact, the reason why I'm saying that is if you put this part of our portfolio together, we are bigger than some of the new phone companies that are coming in. So that's the size of this business already, and we have just started. Today, we are one of the top 5 players in LED TV already, and it's just been a couple of years. But the really interesting thing, and what we are really excited about, is our move to make our portfolio into a completely smart range. We're going to be launching a series of new smart TVs which talk to each other, talk to our phones, as well as in different sizes. We're going to be launching the 50-inch, the 40-inch, as well as the 32-inch. So you're going to see, and you can hear a little bit more about the products outside, but we're announcing the launch of 2 really good smart LED TVs from Micromax. But we are also upgrading our tablet range. As you know that we have, if you think about it, we have almost become the market leader. Number 1, we are definitely in the top 3 all the time. But we are now upgrading our tablet range because we think that this category is going to explode as we go in the future. We are launching 2 new products. Both of them are 4G enabled because clearly that's what's going to drive the category as we move forward. But also one of the feedbacks that we are receiving is that a lot of people in smaller towns are using tablets as an education as well as enterprise or health reasons. So we are now rolling out our proprietary language solution called Indus across our entire tablet range. So 2 really great products, 2 on LEDs and 2 on tablets. But then, of course, you come down to phones and you say 15 phones, and we were thinking about, okay, how are we going to present 15 phones in 15, 20 minutes? And really, the only way for us to organize why we are launching 15 phones in one day is because we've been talking to you guys. We think that there are 5 or 6 really big market drivers of the phone category in 2016-17. Clearly, one of the things that hasn't changed is that the first-time smartphone buyers are coming in. We've got online shoppers. As you can see, these are the 6 things that we keep on talking about. Very quickly, on the first-time smartphone buyers, we estimate anywhere between 6 to 7 crore guys every year move from feature phones into smartphones. And this is what's going to drive the penetration of smartphone from the current 10% to about 18% in about 2 years' time. So this is where a lot of the dynamicism is happening. But on the other hand, the other thing that we clearly see is that the market is moving into larger screens. So this is IDC data from 2014, quarter 1 through to the last quarter. And only 28%, only about 1/4 of the market used to be 5 inches and more. And if you see the last data point, 56%, more than half the phones that we sell today in India are more than 5 inches. So clearly, large screen is being the key driver, driven obviously by the whole video download and the whole video phenomenon. Going further, the third big thing that we are seeing is the whole online space, and we don't think that's going to go away. We think it's going to stabilize, because what we're beginning to see is that the clear segmentation arriving. Consumers today are perhaps not going online specifically for deals. They're looking for choice, they're looking for convenience, and frankly, small towns is what's driving a lot of the growths. And the category is responding to it. Again, if you look at the data, somewhere in last year, only 24 online exclusive models, and that's jumped to 65, because that's the way the business is really growing in the whole online space. Beyond that, language, we've been talking about it. We've had a super successful series in Unite. We have sold more than 2.5 million phones since we launched that. And we think that the explosion in language content is yet to come. And consumers are seeking native experiences rather than translation services. So that's where we think we have to go to, and that's one of the key drivers that we're looking at. Finally, selfies, music, I mean, those are big trends that's not going to go away. I mean, if the government has to ban selfies, you know it's very popular. In fact, to the extent that, a couple of our competitors pitch themselves as a selfie phone or a Wi-Fi phone. So clearly they're onto something which is huge consumer need and consumer demand for phones which deliver on selfie and music and social listening. And finally, there's this whole bit about the mid-premium segment. So if you think about these as the 6 big drivers as we see of the category, our first step in 2016 has been to launch the 15 products around these drivers. So we've got stuff coming in the entry level, we've got stuff coming in the lifestyle. Today is not the day to go through each one of them, but this is what our portfolio will be over the next 4 to 6 weeks, because all of these products will be launched in the next 4 weeks actually. So this is how we are organizing a fairly large portfolio all going into the market at the same time. Obviously, some of you will notice that I've not talked about the mid-premium segment because frankly that's the big news of the day today in terms of product. If you think about the mid-premium segment, which we define as the 10 to 15,000 rupees, that's the one place which has been growing. Over the last 2 years, it's gone from about 8% of the category up to 13% of the category, because the super premium segment's coming down. And this is the place where over the last 3-4 months we've also seen an incredible amount of competitive intensity. We talk about a lot of our friends coming in from China. This is where they're coming in, and this is where there's a lot of clutter that's happening. So while this segment, it's very difficult to actually make out different consumer segments, we clearly see 2 of them though. We call them, for want of any other words, one is the lifestyle user and the other is we call the power user. And by the way, we just took photographs, you can swap them. There's no gender bias here. But the lifestyle users, as we see them, are people who are what we call frequent but intermittent users of phones in terms of the internet usage. So they're using it a lot for social apps, social media, messaging services. They will, do a lot of utility like book movie shows. They will be booking cabs. But every moment that they're on internet is broken up into very small segments. So we clearly see them, and for them style does matter. They're not into that intense session, which is what the power user is. He's into gaming, he's into streaming, he or she, and what they do is they tend to spend a lot of time on every session that they do. And what they're really looking for is power and performance, and they will never compromise on this. So these are the two segments that we think we can decipher, which is driving the whole mid-premium segment of the category. And today, against these two ladies and gentlemen, really, really proud to announce the launch of our next flagship range in India, the Canvas 6. But before I kind of unveil and show you, this is a little bit of a tease before I show you the actual phones. This would not have been possible without the product team. They've done some incredible work. So Saurabh, can I request you to join me on stage? And in some ways, the baton is passing on to Ajay, because he's going to take this. Please, I think, here we go. Yeah. So those are the two phones, guys. Again, one of those first times that we have done, not launched one flagship, but actually launching two flagship phones. Here is the Canvas. Sure. Here is the Canvas 6, and here is the Canvas 6 Pro. They're both getting launched over the next few days and will be in the market soon. Let me just put the display. Thanks. Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. And so, this is the new flagship. So, over to you in the marketplace, and thanks Saurabh and the product team. They've done a phenomenal job. You'll understand why we are really excited about this product, because this we think is going to absolutely rock the market. Let's talk about Canvas 6. It's our first metal unibody design on Micromax. We've done that on the U brand, but on Micromax, this is the first phone, and also our first phone which has a fingerprint scanner. So two really important features that a lot of the lifestyle users are seeking today, and we are seeing that happen in the marketplace. Canvas 6 has that. Second, behind this beauty though are some real awesome brains. We've got a 3GB DDR3 RAM from MediaTek, and again our first 32GB storage, expandable up to 128. So one of the reasons why we did this, because we know that these consumers take a lot of selfies or videos and they share with that, and they're running out of a lot of space very quickly. So we've consciously thought about what to put in and what features and specs to put into this. And obviously this is an octa-core processor. But the other brilliant thing about this phone is the screen. It's a large phone, 5.5 inch. Full HD, and we've managed to get an incredible PPI of 401. That's one of the, in this category, probably the best that we have seen at a 401 level. I don't think we've seen too many other competitors in this price bracket. And because of the selfie craze, because how much of the social media these guys are using, we've put a really good camera and a camera engine in this. So the main camera is 13 MP camera, and the selfie camera, the front camera, is also 8 MP. We've managed to get a PDAF of just 0.1 seconds. So the focusing is super fast, and anyone who is into selfies will know this. An absolutely critical feature for every camera to deliver. But that was on the key highlights. I'll give you a little bit more on Canvas 6, but let's move on the key highlights of Canvas 6 Pro. Canvas 6 Pro is our performance engine. It's a performance machine. And we've gone all out and put a 4 GB RAM, again for us, the first. Also the first Indian brand to have the Helio processor, and we're launching it now. So the first Indian brand to have a Helio processor, and we're really thankful and appreciative of MediaTek in terms of the partnership and how they've really worked with us on this one. It's an octa-core at 2.0 gigahertz clock speeds, probably again one of the fastest that we have seen in this price bracket, with a true 64-bit architecture and one incredible Mali GPU. Again, think about it this way, we are talking to the gamers, we are talking to the guy for whom lag and performance matters all the time. So we've really gone all out to make sure that this is one of the best spec'd products in this category. But it's not just obviously about what's under the hood. It's a great looking phone. It's got a fantastic screen, again a 5.5 but with a 2.5D arc protection, and again a PPI of 401. So if you were to then just summarize, this is what you're going to get from these flagship range, which rolls out now. 3 GB, 4 GB, it's got 32 GB storage, 16 for Canvas 6. And obviously a metal unibody and a fingerprint scanner for the Canvas 6, which is our flagship. Yeah, excited? Looks good, because we were really excited when we were developing these products. But you know, this is not enough, because the other big thing that we're going to announce today is Canvas 6 range will be the first products under Micromax which is going to come preloaded with Around. As you guys know, Around is our integrated platform for the discovery and aggregation of services. As you, many of you guys were there when we launched it in December last year, but just for those who came new to this story, what you get is a very native, great UI experience without the need to have these apps downloaded on your phone for you to order cabs through Ola, food. You know, we've tied up with Ixigo, who will do comparison shopping across different hotels and flight merchants, as well as shopping and do comparison shopping because of our partnership with Scandid. So on the phone, on the right swipe, you will, on the home screen, you will get the Around interface and one button, one press, and you can book your Ola, really. So we think this is going to give an incredible, simplified, and a very simple way for consumers to access the service that they want without needing all the apps cluttering up their phone. So this is the first set of phones that are going with Around, but over the next few weeks and months, we're going to start rolling it out across the portfolio of Micromax. There's more. Gaana is the default music player, and as you know, we've got a strategic alliance going with Gaana, so that comes preloaded out here, as well as the Udio wallet, because as we will start rolling out our partnership with Udio, you will start seeing this come through. Even more, because with Ola, what we're getting is a set of really great promotions that are coming through for the guys. The big ones that I can point out here is obviously with Gaana, you're getting 6 months of subscription free, and every day for the next 2 months, one Micromax user who is utilizing Around will earn a flight ticket just for ₹1. So if you guys are going for your summer vacations, try out Around. Who knows, you might be the lucky one. And all of this is available for pre-booking today, because another first, Micromax is launching its e-store, and you can book and pre-book these phones at stores.micromaxinfo.com. So really got a lot of stuff coming, lots of firsts for us, And here's the price. Also a first, because yeah, we always did a little bit of titchkey, with the pricing and all that stuff. But we've told you this is a 10 to 15K product, and it is indeed a 10 to 15K product, 14,999. Okay, sorry. One last titchkey. This is 13th April, so just let's make it 13,999, yeah? So that's the final price. It's not going to come down anymore, guys. Canvas 6, Canvas 6 Pro, ready for pre-booking today at 13,999, our flagship products, but just a couple of the 15 new products that we are launching today. You will see what's all these products when you go out into the product section outside. We're really excited about what the next few weeks have. Micromax is back with a bang in the new year, and you'll hear a lot more from us. Before I leave the stage though, I'm going to just give you a very early view of the advertising that's going to break very soon, and after that we'll proceed for lunch. Thank you very much. Can I have the AV please? So just saying thank you very much. We won't take any questions. I know it's really late. Lunch is outside. And yes, as they say these days, let's have Chinese for lunch today. Sorry. Food is... Oh, okay. stores.micromaxinfo.com. Thank you, Sheetal. So this food outside, given the time, we won't take any questions right now, but we'll all be with you over lunch, so feel free to ask us any informal questions. I know it's very late, so thank you for your patience, and thank you. I hope you're as excited as we are. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can upload your pictures and comments with the hashtag #NewPinchNewPunch. I'll repeat, you can upload your pictures and your comments with the hashtag #NewPinchNewPunch.